History of Chemistry Part 1, starting from prehistoric period to the age of alchemy. When I was a student in Chem 16, among the very first assignments given to us was to read the historical development in chemistry. So if you are a student and enrolled in your first college chemistry subject, I hope this presentation and many other succeeding presentations can help. All you need to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel. To come up with this presentation, I needed to refer to various articles, books, and YouTube videos. I came upon this book by Anirban Hazra entitled The Story of Chemistry. It traces the development of chemistry, the science of matter, from its origin in antiquity to modern and quickly evolving science that it is today. But this presentation will cover only up to the period of the alchemy. Sequels will follow to cover the birth of chemistry as a science to the period of modern chemistry. It starts with a definition of matter because chemistry is about matter. It goes, chemistry is the science of matter, the science dealing with the composition and properties of substances, and the changes they undergo. Tracing its origin from antiquity, let us go back some 100,000 years when prehistoric people realized the value of fire. Fire is one of the most important forces in our world. It has played an important role throughout all of human history. But how was fire discovered? According to the Greek mythology, Prometheus stole fire from the gods and gave it to humans. On the other hand, many Native American cultures believe an animal such as a wolf, woodpecker, or coyote brought fire to people after stealing it from an evil being. There are even different scientific theories about when humans first controlled fire. Evolutionists, for instance, theorized that over time, pre-humans may have also learned how to make primitive fires using sticks and flint. These scientists believe that learning to make and control fire was most likely one of the earliest discoveries made by pre-humans. Prehistoric people learned that fire can bring about many transformations. In this funny caricature, let us follow the conversation between the couple. The lady says, "I love your hairdo." The man replied, "Oh, you know that new thing called fire? This is what happens when you sleep too close to it." The earliest practical knowledge of chemistry was concerned with metallurgy, pottery, and dyes. These crafts were developed with considerable skill, but without really understanding of the principles involved. To understand the progression of history, we must first know about how smelting works. Most metals, including aluminum and iron, don't exist in pure form in large quantities on Earth. Instead, they exist as a mineral ore with other elements like oxygen, carbon, and sulfur. Most common ores, such as magnetite and chalcocite, for example, have a high melting point that is above 1000 degrees centigrade, and so need a lot of heat to liquefy. Limestone and carbon, or charcoal in ancient times, are also added to the pot to assist with the process. Carbon reacts with the metal in the ore, converting it to metallic form. This process removes oxygen by producing carbon dioxide. Yeah, that substance with a big environmental impact. After this, metal and slag, a waste product, are the only components left. Further processing occurs to remove the slag, therefore purifying the metal. The pure metal is often too brittle on its own, and so other elements may be added, such as arsenic or tin in copper, to make bronze, to produce stronger alloys. The Bronze Age started about 5,000 years ago and marked the shift from stone tools to metal tools. Some Bronze Age civilizations include the Babylonians, ancient Greeks, and the Chinese Shang Dynasty. As mentioned earlier, bronze is an alloy of copper and tin or arsenic. As to how it was first discovered, was likely an accident while working on copper. Copper is occasionally found in metallic form and was used in the transition from the Stone Age to the Bronze Age. When refining copper tools, arsenic likely got mixed in accidentally, producing bronze. The resulting alloy was stronger than copper, making a better tool. Following this, the civilization worked to replicate the stronger material, eventually working out the right amount of impurities to add. So we're moving forward to the Iron Age. It's almost certain that civilization played with iron while in the Bronze Age, but wouldn't have thought it great because iron is brittle on its own. The Iron Age took off with the advent of steel, an alloy of iron and carbon. Some examples of Iron Age civilization are the classical Greeks, the Persians, and the Celts. So what advantage does steel have over bronze? The main one is it's a harder metal. Further, the ores to make it are more abundant. Around 5% of Earth's crust is iron, and it stays sharper for longer. Two downsides of steel, however, are that the melting point of the ores are much higher, and the steel production is more labor-intensive. Steel must be heated up successively and worked into shape. The effort, however, was worth it in battle, as any Iron Age society would break the swords of Bronze Age societies, ensuring survival. Glass. Little is known about the first attempts to make glass. However, it is generally believed that glassmaking was discovered some 4,000 years ago or more. Scholars believe that the ability to make glass developed over a long period of time from experiments with a mixture of silica sand or ground quartz pebbles. Other high-heat industries, including ceramics and metalworking, could have inspired early glassmakers. Man is always in a quest for understanding the world. While the early people were discovering things, many of them were also trying to provide explanation of natural processes, but these were in terms of gods, demons, and spirits. In prehistoric tribes, certain individuals make it their task, or they were tasked to understand these supernatural forces and appease them. The development of the first theories of chemistry began around 6th century BC. In at least three civilizations, the Greeks, Indians, and Chinese. Thales of Miletus. His theory is sometimes stated briefly as all is water. That is, all matter shares certain basic characteristics similar to those of water. The Greek philosopher Anaxagoras was the first to formulate a molecular theory of matter and to regard the physical universe as subject to the rule of rationality or reason. He assumed that the world is made up of infinite number of minute particles which he called seeds. Before Empedocles, air was considered a transition between water and fire, and not really a material substance. Empedocles recognized that air is material and supported this by experiment. Democritus believed that all matter is composed of collections of infinitesimal and indivisible particles called atoms. Atomos in Greek means indivisible. The atoms of the four elements earth, air, water, and fire have physical size and shape, which explain many of their properties. These images of video clips tell us about the history of alchemy. Alchemy is an ancient practice shrouded in mystery and secrecy. Its practitioners mainly sought to turn lead into gold, a quest that has captured the imaginations of people for thousands of years. But alchemy was at its core a way for inquisitive minds to explore the way of the world. It was an attempt to decipher nature's functions and use them for various purposes. To achieve those ends, alchemists theorized it was necessary to purify the spirit, body, and mind. People who practiced alchemy were searching for ways to produce elixirs which should hopefully cure all kinds of diseases and turn base metals such as lead into precious ones like gold. Even in this present age, this idea of a philosopher's stone is being entertained in movies such as Harry Potter and The Lord of the Rings. This is the end of this presentation. Watch out for the continuation, the second part, which will cover from the birth of chemistry as a science to the era of modern chemistry. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.